Hi, everybody. I just wanted to take a couple of minutes to introduce you to a good friend of mine, Brittany Mackey, who is a representative from Barefoot Books and wanted to talk to us a little bit about some of the things that you might find at their website that would be helpful for your therapy space. So welcome, Brittany, and tell us what you got.
Sure. Thanks for having me. I do represent Barefoot Books, and in Barefoot Books, we like to publish books and sell games and other products that help children all see themselves in our books, no matter what they look like, no matter what religion they are, no matter what lifestyle their parents might live or might have, that they are still valuable, that they still matter, and that there's a place for them in our books, but also in the world. And I think that's especially important right now, but really always. And so I want to share a couple books. This is one of my favorites, and it is the Barefoot Book of Children. And right from the get-go, from the very first page, it recognizes that all children are different, that they look different, that they have different colored skin, that they have different shaped bodies, but there is a place for them in the world. And I just want to show you a couple pages. Here's a page with their different bodies. That some kids are a little bit chunky, some kids are really long and lean, some kids have glasses or are even missing a limb, but that doesn't give us a reason to think differently of them, to treat them differently. And it also allows those children who do look a little bit different to say, wow, yeah, I look different, but if they're taking the time to put me in a book, that surely my life does matter, and I'm beautiful just the way I am. And we really feel committed to that. Likewise, we talk about how all different families are different, how there might be families who have two dads or two moms. Back up just a little bit. And then even a family where there might be people in the military, and so the dad isn't or the mom isn't always there, but still that it's something that makes their life a little bit different. Maybe they're a different religion, but that we as human beings are still to be accepting and loving and compassionate towards all people. This is a page that I love that basically just shows kind of different emotions, different ways people feel about themselves. And again, that we all have a story to tell. And even the last page, I'm just gonna read this last page. Every life is a story. It's easier to understand someone when you know their story. And I think that is such a valuable lesson for today, but for always, that just because somebody is different, it doesn't make them bad. It doesn't make them scary. It doesn't make their life choices bad. It's just different. And as we begin to understand that and have conversation with people, that we truly can understand them and realize more about what it is that makes them who they are and makes them special. Another thing that we do have is we have cooperative games. This is one of our favorites. It's called the fairy game. I love cooperative games because you win or you lose as a team. So even though you each have your own turn and you each get to play individually, you as a group of children or a therapist and a client, a patient, do not lose individually. There's not a winner or a loser. It's how you play together and how well you cooperate. So I love the idea of teaching turn taking and teaching playing games, but still making sure that everybody realizes that they work together, they have to collaborate and communicate in order to win the game. And then a couple of other books that I would just like to focus on. Herb the Vegetarian Dragon is a book that really kind of addresses bullying without ever using the word bully. And it's about a dragon, of course, who is a vegetarian, and none of his dragon friends are vegetarians. But it goes through this whole story that, I have a different life choice and I choose to be a vegetarian, but I still am part of your family and your community. And in a bigger sense, and to carry it out farther, a part of the world. And that even though we're different, it doesn't mean that we cannot get along. Similarly, The Boy Who Grew Flowers is about a boy who's different in that a flower grows out of the top of his head every time the moon changes. And so again, of course, I'm sure many children feel different or feel left out or feel hurt or bullied, or all of the emotions that we hear children feeling. That this book certainly doesn't normalize that in any way, but says, you know what, this little boy was different. And then he meets a little girl who also has a flower that grows from behind her ear. And so they build this relationship. One final, well, actually two, Shopping with Dad. Again, we have some books that take issues like anger or feeling left out, feeling maybe alone because they're an only child, or feeling a little bit hurt because now there's a baby sister or brother coming along. So all of these emotions that we know children face are addressed through so many of our books. And this one is on shopping with dad and a child who really has a hard time kind of controlling their anger in the grocery store. But I think what Barefoot Books really prides itself on doing is taking issues that we know are real issues: bullying, not feeling up to their potential, or feeling sad or lonely, and maybe not even knowing why. And while our books don't specifically say, hey, you're feeling lonely, let's talk about why, it takes a story with lovable characters, diverse characters, so that any child can see people that either look like them, if they themselves look different, or see that just because somebody is different, they can still be a part of the stories that we read. So very different than a book that addresses an issue head on. It still takes the issue, you read the story, and then you say, let's talk about a time you felt alone. Let's talk about a time that you felt left out, and how can you relate to the character in the story? And so that's what we really try to do. We try to take these issues, put them in the context of a character, and then have the conversations that translate into their real life.
Yeah. And that's what I love about it. And that's why this is so relevant today. We're having so many conversations in therapy offices and just in the news about having diverse books, having diverse characters, exposing people to other ways of thinking. And so a lot of therapists like myself are looking specifically for places where you can find those types of books. And it's not always easy to find books that have characters that are not like me. And so this is one resource for people to be able to find all sorts of characters in books that look like lots of people.
Yeah, and just a personal note is my 3 daughters are biracial, and my twins are 7 and my little one is 5. And that's actually why I first got interested in the books, is I was having a hard time finding book characters who looked like my daughters. They wanted to read about princesses, but the Disney princesses don't look like them. And so wanting to find ways to do that. And so Barefoot Books really fit that bill for me and my family. And I've loved watching them grow up as barefoot children.
Yeah. And I love the cooperative board games. This is my place that I go to for all those. I have a huge stack of them in my office: Hoot Owl Hoot and Mermaid Island and Cauldron Quest. And I can't say enough about them. People think cooperative board games are like, oh, this is so that we don't make people feel bad about themselves, but they really are so fun. And I just really love them so much. That, and I have the book from you, The Mother Bridge of Love, which is about adoption and has international characters from China and stuff. That's my favorite adoption book ever. So I really do use the stuff that I have gotten from you in my office and need more of it, and looking for even more things to help show that we have a diverse set of people that come to see me and that come to therapy. So I wanted to give other people the opportunity to shop with you, and you are giving us the opportunity to do that with a little bit of a special coupon code, right?
Yeah, absolutely. If you use the code WELCOME, you will receive 20% off your order. And I believe you're going to share the shopping link to where people should shop for the books or the games.
Yep, I'm going to share that shopping link. And Barefoot Books is one of those companies where you shop through the link, and then I, as the host of the party, am able to win rewards. But I will tell everybody that I have plenty of stuff in my office and I'm able to get all those things. So any rewards that I get will be donated back to communities throughout the country where we can give them books to have like this. So I'm not making money off of this. This is not designed to help, supply my office with tons of free stuff. It really is to help give more people access to books that have characters that are more diverse, and to help give more clinicians access to books that are more diverse and things in their office. So we will definitely use any rewards that we receive, to give back to communities, and we'll post how that is spent once we figure out how much we have.
Great.
All right. Well, Brittany, thank you so much for coming. Again, we will post the link here so that people, if you need to get any items and want to take a look at Barefoot Books, you can shop Barefoot Books through any representative that you have. But if you shop through this link, then you will contribute to that cause that we have of trying to get some more books into more people in our community. So thank you so much for coming today. And if anybody has any questions, then I'm going to send them to you.
Great. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Thanks.
All right. Bye-bye.